Jen, you're a resident of Holland, and what was your initial reaction when you found out that the Tulip Time Festival had accepted the invitation to have Erik Prince come and speak at their lunch?
Well, I was just appalled. It wasn't supposed to be a dialogue. It wasn't supposed to be questioning him about his life and his values. It was a very positive thing that Mr. Prince was coming. And, I just couldn't believe that we were allowing that. And then when he did not want to have the media invited, why the secrecy? If you're willing to come home to your own community and talk about how the values of Holland have inspired your life, then why is that secret? It just didn't make sense. So
my understanding is that you're one of the folks who organized the demonstration today. Could you tell us a little bit about sort of, what was sort of the intent behind people coming out here today with signs?
My intent was just indignation, just moral outrage that Holland and the Tulip Time Committee should endorse Erik Prince as a hero type or to be a model for young people. It was really a poor decision, and I thought there needed to be some kind of witness that there are moral people in Holland who say no to this madness.
Could you say something about the things in particular that you object to, the things that you think that Prince represents, what Blackwater represents? I mean, what are the kind of things that most appall you about what he has done?
Well, first off, because I believe we're brothers and sisters, it's just the notion of killing completely. But then to do it, to marry into capitalism, to do it at the highest bidding, the mercenary aspect. I've been repulsed by that since I learned about the mercenaries in the Revolutionary War when I was a little kid. I don't know about you, but it really left a bad taste in my mouth to have that mentality. I don't get it, and I don't know why people would applaud him.
I mean, how do you think that the Holland community in general has sort of reacted to? I mean, what's been the reaction that you've heard just from listening to people or reading the paper or whatever in terms of their thoughts about him being chosen to be the luncheon speaker today?
Well, it certainly is mixed. It bothers me that several hundred people paid $40 a piece to hear him talk about family values. Come on. But I know there are people who support the idea of the Prince family and what they've done generously for the Holland community. So I think there might have been a political payback mentality to invite him here. In terms of the media, I think there are a lot of people who are for and there are a lot of people who are against.
I guess one last thing is that this process particularly with Blackwater kind of coming to the prominence it has. It's happened under sort of the Bush-Cheney years, but the Obama administration has continued giving contracts to Blackwater for Iraq and Afghanistan. What you're thinking about, that the current administration can sort of continuing that sort of, war profiteering policy.
Yeah. Well, I'm very disappointed and offended. I know there was great hope for change. I thought we'd have a fundamental change with the policies from Mr. Bush. But to me, it seems like Mr. Obama's surge in Afghanistan continues that. And I'm not an advocate of killing, so that isn't any solution. So I'm disappointed at the least.